Welcome back to FM Story as we begin season 4 of this Glory Hunter save. And for a time, it looked like we were staying at Bayern Munich. We've already won the Bundesliga and the DFB Pokal. There were no real jobs of any real interest that opened up. Most of the international managers who left after the World Cup were replaced by out-of-work managers. It was actually getting close to the season before we decided to take some action. Obviously, the only thing that was left to win with Bayern Munich that we had a chance of potentially was the Champions League. And the squad wasn't quite there. We did quite well last season to get to the semi-final, but some areas of the squad just probably needed a bit more of a fine-tuning than we could afford. It was getting close to the start of the season, and I took the decision to resign from Bayern Munich, which started a chain reaction of jobs becoming available. So without further ado, let's find out where we ended up. And so, as the summer transfer window is about to come to a close, we have a new job, and we've gone back to the Premier League, and we are now managing Manchester City. Our actual resigning from Bayern Munich is what brought this about. Because by resigning from Bayern Munich, Luis Enrique left PSG to go to Bayern Munich. I had a job interview with PSG, but in the end, they went for Pep Guardiola, which left the Man City job available, which they've now given me. And obviously the media prediction is for them to finish first. They won the league last season. The Premier League is something that we are missing from the save in terms of the trophies that we need to win. And we've got to have a good chance of winning the Champions League. But also, look at that transfer budget they've given me. 554 million. Which makes me wonder a bit about what state the squad's in, but we'll have a look at that in a second. So, looking at the squad, Ederson's still there, Stones is still there, but they were looking at accepting an offer for him in the summer. Ruben Diaz is still there, Gvardio's still there, Rodri's still there, Bernardo Silva, Ford and Haaland. So there's certainly a good core to the squad still there. I mean, basically, there's a lot in there, but they want us to challenge for the Champions League. We actually, in terms of the league, we only actually need to qualify for the league. They're not expecting us to win the Premier League in the first season. And so before we take charge of our first game with Man City, which is against one of my former clubs in Aston Villa, who we started the save with, just to have a look at where we're at with things. So when we were looking at the squad planner, there's a bit of an issue in that everyone at the club seems to think we need another goalkeeper because we don't have the depth. And when you look at the quality of Ortega compared to Ederson, there is a bit of a drop off there. But one of the issues that does need addressing is at left back. First choice left back, once that is Gvardiol, who could well be first choice centre half, or Rico Lewis, who's probably first choice right back, which then leaves you to Ake and Akanji before you get to some of the players that had come through the academy. And then also, in terms of left midfield, the best option is Phil Foden. And then you've got some of the other players that are down the pecking order there. One of the issues where I thought there might be an issue is up front, because really, other than Haaland, there isn't anyone that's an out-and-out striker, but there is Echeverri, who's been in the youth team, who could potentially do a job as an understudy. On looking at those issues, we did then go back to Bayern Munich with our war chest of a transfer budget to try and poach some players. So firstly, we went for Matisse Tell as a backup for Erling Haaland. He wanted to be a regular starter, and there's no way he was going to be a regular starter in that team. So in the end, we've gone with Alfonso. We've made offers for and had contracted discussions with a couple of players, and it is stupid money, but then we do have stupid money available to spend. So Alfonso Davies, to give us another option at left back. If we're going to play Gvardiol at centre half, he can come in at left back. And then Musiala can play in the defensive midfield role. He can play in the two in front of that. If we play the 4-2-3-1, he can play behind the front man. He can play wide left. He can play wide right. He can play everywhere. And he's only 23. So that's what we're looking at in terms of the transfers coming in. Obviously, we've still got a few days left before the transfer window slams shut. As far as how the season started for Man City, they lost the Community Shield on penalties to Tottenham, but then beat Brighton 3-0 at home, beat West Ham 2-1 away from home, and beat Leicester 2-1 at home in the league. So as far as the league's concerned, we are top of the table with 3 wins from 3, unbeaten so far. As far as the season preview is concerned, Arsenal are actually the favourites. And then when you look at the media dream 11, we've got Edison, Gvardiol, Silva, Foden, Haaland in there. Obviously, we've come into it a bit late as far as this season is concerned. So hopefully we can get through to January doing relatively well, and then we can have another look at the transfer market after that. I think if we can get Alfonso Davies and Musiala in, then that'll be a good start, and then we see where we are from there. But now we'll go back to our first game in charge of Man City against Aston Villa. So this is the team we've picked for our first game in charge of Man City. I'm going with the 4-3-3 that served us so well with Bayern Munich and also with Aston Villa as well. We've gone with Jan Couto at right back, which enables us to play Rico Lewis at left back, so we can get Ruben Diaz and Gvardiol in the centre of defence. Got Rodri in front of them, Matheus Nunes and Oscar Bob in front of them, and then Silva and Doku wide with Haaland through the middle. We are missing Phil Foden through injury, but hopefully we should still have enough to continue this 100% start to the season. So they're going with a 4-2-3-1. They've added Gio Reyna and Mitrovic to the squad since we left, as well as Ryerson, who they've signed this summer from Dortmund, I think on loan. All right, Carlos Augusto for them with the ball at the left back. Consa, we've given him plenty of time on the ball. He goes back to Emi Martinez. Pau Torres into Kamara. And they're having a lot of the ball early on here. Gvardiol comes in and nicks it and goes wide to Bernardo Silva on this right hand side. Plays a lovely ball into the box for Haaland. And there we go, less than 3 minutes on the clock. And we've got the first goal of our reign. And Erling Haaland gets it. Gvardiol came and nicked it, found Bernardo Silva, just chops back onto the left foot, and then plays a ball in behind the centre half. The other centre half couldn't get across. And Haaland buries it past Martinez. Right, Martinez with the goal kick for them goes short to Consa, into Douglas Luiz. Ryerson attacking on the right hand side, but Doku gets back to win it. Finds Rodri. He goes across to Ruben Diaz. Jan Couto down the right hand side here. Bernardo Silva to the byline, crosses, it's headed clear. And Kamara goes long with it, but Rico Lewis picks it up. It goes down the line for Oscar Bob. He pulls it back looking for Matheus Nunes. It's headed clear as far as Rodri. We're keeping them pressed in here. And Matheus Nunes was offside there. And there we are, half time. We've pretty much dominated that first half. We haven't created as many chances as I would have liked. But it's a first start after only a couple of days at the club. And hopefully we can just continue the levels and come away with the 3 points. So a couple of changes at half time. Curtis Jones on for Oscar Bob. Trincao on for Doku. Edison with a goal kick, short to Ruben Diaz. Gvardiol into Haaland, back to Ruben Diaz, Jan Couto down the line for Bernardo Silva, still going, finds Matheus Nunes, Jan Couto back to Silva in the box, and he scored. What a move, 2-0. And so Bernardo Silva just drives down that wing, goes back to Nunes. Jan Couto then finds Bernardo Silva. The fullback didn't make the run with him. He beats Martinez to put us 2-0 up, and this is looking like a great start to our time at a new club. Right, Douglas Luiz with a free kick. Edison was flying through the air, but it missed it, and luckily they didn't hit the target. Right, Jan Couto with a corner from the left. Into the box. There's Rodri with the header. Makes it 3-0. And we are looking imperious so far here. Into the middle of the box. Gets up. Beats Martinez with a header. Another couple of changes. Rodri and Nunes have gone off, and Kovacic and Guendouzi have come on. Long throw into the box, straight into the hands of Edison. Gvardiol now bringing it forward. They've let him go a long way with the ball here. Back to Rico Lewis, across to Ruben Diaz. Now Couto in space. Guendouzi to Bernardo Silva. Into Guendouzi on the byline. Jan Couto drives the low cross in, but Luis brings it clear. Jones wins it back. Kovacic into the box. And Ruben Diaz picks up the ball at the back. Jan Couto to Bernardo Silva. His cross is turned goalwards by Guendouzi. Makes it 4-0. And this is a great start to life at Man City. Ruben Diaz finds Couto. He just pushes it on the line for Bernardo Silva. Fires a cross in. Guendouzi diverts it goalwards past Emi Martinez. And we've made a final change. We brought Echeverri on up front instead of Haaland. Reina with a corner for them. Pau Torres heads home to make it 4-1. Just now swing it to the near post. He gets up above 2. And between the keeper and the man on the line, they should have probably done a bit better than that. Another corner for them. It's headed up in the air. It's still alive, but it lands on the roof of the net. Right, and a corner for them again. Reina. They're really piling on the pressure with the corners. Luckily, we've got a big enough lead at this stage. It's pulled to the edge of the box to McGinn. His shot's deflected. Camara picks it up. And then we clear, and that's full time. 4-1 for our first league game in charge of Man City. Away from home as well. Great performance. Bernardo Silva with 2 assists and a goal, just outstanding. And hopefully we can go close to winning the Premier League and challenging in the Champions League with this squad, because it looks like a pretty decent squad so far. But we've made it to the last game of September before we've got a big international break, and things have largely gone pretty well since we've taken over at Man City. Obviously, they had won the opening 3 games of the season before we saw that game against Aston Villa where we won 4-1. Next up was the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup, and we hammered Blackburn 7-0 with Erling Haaland picking up 5. We then beat Leeds 3-0 at home with another 2 from Erling Haaland. We then had the opening game of the Champions League at home against Real Madrid. They took the lead through Jude Bellingham. We equalised just on half-time from Erling Haaland. Unfortunately, Alphonso Davies suffered a bit of an injury in that game, so he was going to be out for about a month and a half. We then went away to Brentford in the league, and we were dreadful. It actually looked like, at times, with the amount of possession they had and how easy it was for them to move it around, it looked like they had twice as many players on the pitch as us. We did try and get ourselves back into it. We got a goal back at 2-1, but then they made it 3-1, and we got a goal back late on in injury time, but couldn't get another one to level the game up. And then in the most recent league game against Real Sociedad in the Champions League, comfortable 5-1 victory at home with another 4 goals from Erling Haaland. So, as far as the league's concerned, we are top of the table. We've won 5, lost 1 of our opening 6 games. We're a point clear of Man United, 2 points clear of Newcastle, 3 points clear of the rest of the chasing pack. Erling Haaland's already got 7 goals in the Premier League this season, and hopefully we can continue this form on against an Ipswich team who are struggling themselves so far this season. They've got 1 win out of 6. So this is the side that we have picked for the game against Man City. So this is the game we've picked for the team against Ipswich. Pretty strong team. We've gone with Oscar Bob in the 2 in midfield alongside Musiala, with Silva and Foden wide. And hopefully we can come away with the 3 points. They are missing one of their players because we sent Maximo Perron on loan to them for the season, but obviously he's ineligible to play today. And hopefully Erling Haaland can continue on his goal-scoring form. Bernardo Silva with a corner. It's up in the air. It comes down to Haaland. He works into the box for Ruben Diaz, and immediately we've got in front. Silva just whips the corner in. It's gone up in the air. Haaland takes it down and then just returns it into the middle of the box. And Diaz with a free header to put us 1-0 up. And they've gone long from a goal kick. They've got the flick on, but Ruben Diaz wins it. Musiala down to Rodrigo. Foden. Gvardiol bringing it forwards. Rico Lewis across to Ruben Diaz. He strides forward, finds Musiala, out wide to Foden, straight into Bob first time. He drives himself into the box, fires across the keeper, and in under 4 minutes, that's us 2-0 up. So Musiala plays it out. Foden cushions the ball into the path of Bob. Turns, goes past the defender, and then just fires across the keeper to make it 2-0. Right, another goal kick long from them. They've got the flick on. It hits Ruben Diaz. Gvardiol finds Rico Lewis. Ruben Diaz now coming forward with it. Out to Jan Couto. Tries to play Haaland in behind. They've cut the ball out. But then giving the ball away in midfield. We're certainly putting some pressure on them in the midfield. Bob over the top looking for Foden. Back to Bob. Gets to the byline, squares it. And a simple tap in for Bernardo Silva in the middle of the goal. And that's 3-0 in under half an hour. We're looking a lot more. Certainly, it's a step up on the Brentford game. I mean, what the keeper was doing there, I don't know. He just basically sat down and let the ball go to Bernardo Silva. Jan Couto with a throw to Bernardo Silva. Back to Couto. It's worked to Musiala. Drives into the box. Keeper got a touch on it. Couldn't keep it out. Too much power. And that's 4-0 in 30 minutes. Just work the ball around. Simple stuff. Musiala looked like he was going away from goal and just turns and then drives into the box. And then from the penalty spot, smashes it. The keeper got his fingertips to it, but too strong to keep it out. And Foden down the left into Bob. Musiala from distance. And it's just into the roof, onto the roof of the net. Diaz wins a header. And they've gone back to the goalkeeper. And they've gone long again. And again, they've won the flick on, but Gvardiol sweeping up at the back there. Lewis forward to Foden. He's still got it. Back to Gvardiol. Ruben Diaz now going forward with it. Musiala wide to Couto, into Bernardo Silva in the box. And there's Erling Haaland to get his first goal of the game, and that's 5-0 after 33 minutes. It's well worked. Couto just into the box, and then Bernardo Silva just hits it first time, knowing that Haaland's going to be there, didn't need to look, and he just turns it past the keeper for 5-0. And Couto to Musiala. Couto's cross towards the back post. The keeper comes and claims it. And then he goes long. And again, they've won a flick on, but Gvardiol to Foden, looking for Haaland, but it's a poor pass. But Haaland nicks the ball out to Foden. They've gone long again. And again, they've won a header. I think just about every ball that's gone forward, they've won the flick on, but we've picked up the loose ball. Bob out to Foden. Over the top, looking for Haaland. Takes it down brilliantly. Stabs it past the keeper. And that's 6-0. And this is going to be the ideal time to... I mean, we've got a big break between our next games, but the players are going on international duty, so it'll be the ideal time to rest some players. But Foden's ball over the top. Haaland takes it down, stabs it past the keeper for 6-0. Right there. Coming forward, first real attack they've had, cross into the box, and they've got a penalty. Couto just barging over their player. This penalty's given. And it's Hurst against Ederson. And Hurst scores, and that's 6-1 on the brink of half-time. Decent penalty. Right in the corner. And there we go, half-time. I mean, pretty outstanding from us so far. Really ruthless. We've had 7 shots on target and we've scored 6 of them. And a chance to rest some players for the second half. We made a handful of changes at half-time. We've brought Erling Haaland off, put Núñez on and put Musiala through the middle. We've also taken off Rodri and brought on Kovacic. And we've taken off Rico Lewis and brought on Doyle and moved Gvardiol to left back, who's straight in the action there with interception. Ruben Diaz now striding forward with it. Bernardo Silva still has it. Goes down the line for Matheus Núñez, who pulls it back. Eventually it comes through to Foden, who rifles the ball home, and that's 7-1. Bernardo Silva eventually gets the ball down the line for Matheus Núñez, who thought he'd taken too long. He pulls it back. I think he was looking for Bob. Tackle then made the ball go to Foden, who dispatches it past the keeper. And from the kick-off, they've tried to go over the top on Yeka. Doyle misses his interception. Hurst in the box. And that's a great finish. But far, far too easy for them to get straight through the middle of the team there. Just too much time in the midfield. Ball over the top. Doyle should have dealt with that. Didn't. And Hurst's shot beats Ederson at his near post. And we've got another. Oscar Bob gets his second of the game. It's a free kick from Matthias Nunes to the back post. It's headed up in the air. It drops brilliantly for Bob. The shot takes a big deflection on the way through. And that's 8-2. So we made the last two substitutions. We brought Trincao and Doku on for Foden and Bernardo Silva. Right, Trincao with a free kick from distance. And the keeper claws it behind for a corner. Trincao's across the take. Swings it in. It's up in the air. And a weak header is easy for the keeper to hold on to. And there we go, full-time, dominant performance. 8-2 victory. And we were able to rest some players in the second half as well. So, all in all, a pretty good day. And there we are, an eventful episode to end the beginning of season 4 of The Save. We've left Bayern Munich, we've taken over at Man City, and largely we've hit the ground running. We've spent a hell of a lot of money so far in the transfer window as well. Join us next time to see if we can keep up this great run of form in the league and in the Champions League, the two trophies that really mean anything as far as Man City are concerned for this save. We haven't won the Premier League yet, we haven't won the Champions League yet. This squad should go a long way towards winning both of those trophies. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.